Okay, this is going to be for founders, and I'm just going to show you how to optimize yourself for productivity. All right, so this might sound like a little bit of a cheesy video, but I haven't seen many people talk about this stuff in depth. And if you are a founder or a business owner, this is going to resonate with you, whereas most people it doesn't, and it seems like overkill. But if your energy is the most precious resource that you have, and you're building a lean operation where you are basically the bottleneck, you need to optimize yourself for productivity, especially at the beginning. Later on, you can build systems and install different things that your business isn't so dependent on you. But in the beginning, you really need to be dialed in. All right. So even if this isn't the beginning, if you're a high level CEO, executive, or founder, this is going to be useful for you. All right. So the first thing, I've tested all this stuff and I've worked with a lot of founders and colleagues who do the same stuff and have reported the feedback back to me. All right. So, number one highest priority thing that I've tracked and that other people have tracked is sleep. Okay. So, it's the highest leverage activity you can do for your health. It's just to get 8 hours of actual sleep. It's the number one factor that links to money, at least for me and for multiple of my colleagues. If you're in one of those business models where you are the main marketer, you're writing your sales letters, you're writing your dynamic sales letters, you're writing your dynamic ads, you're managing your team. Maybe you just have like a couple assistants or a couple operators, right? Your sleep is going to be the most important thing that links directly to the cash flow. All right. So make sure that you're getting actual sleep. I have tracked this out, and more so than exercise, more so than meditation, more so than diet, even sleep is really, really, really important. Now, the problem is most people think that they're actually getting 8 hours of sleep, but if they tracked it, it would be more like 6. All right. So I have this thing right here, which is the Whoop. I'll take this off so you can kind of see it in the camera. And I'll make this bigger here. Let me see. Okay. So the Whoop is really great. It gives you super, super, super valuable insights on deep sleep, REM sleep, your sleep cycles, all that good stuff. I've also used Oura Ring and I love them as well. Both their softwares are great. The first thing you need to do is just track, because if you're not tracking your sleep, you don't really know where to improve. Now, you don't need to be sadistic about this and crazy and like super freaked out about, holy crap, I only got 6.5 hours of sleep tonight, but it's just to get a metric down. All right. They also have Whoop Teams, which you can share with your assistant, and the assistant can put it into a nice dashboard so that you can see, hey, when I get 6 hours of sleep, I'm making less cash flow. I'm not closing as many deals. You can track all this stuff. Again, seems a little crazy and controlled, but that's what you need to do in order to create a high cash flow. So use blue light blockers before bed. Blue light blockers are super, super great. I've got links to all these, and I'll put this. Maybe I'll put this document out later. All right, but go find some good blue light blockers and wear those like an hour and a half before bed. You don't need to wear them like when you're on a screen very much. I think it's more so when you're going to sleep that it's going to be a useful thing for you. So mattress, I don't actually have this, but I know a lot of people that use the 8 Sleep, which is great. Otherwise, just find a great mattress. The 8 Sleep is like a cooling mattress. It's really, really expensive. You can do that. A lot of athletes and entrepreneurs and biohackers use it, but at least just get a nice memory foam mattress that makes it exciting and like enjoyable to go to sleep. All right. So software, this is really great. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see the top of my screen, but I have an app called Flux, which is on Mac, and you can use it to just reduce the blue light. Once it hits like 4 p.m. or something when you're working late, you can just use Flux to shift the blue light off, and your screen kind of goes darker, a little bit red hued. And that's really helpful for just easing the strain on the eyes, and it helps with your REM cycle, your REM sleep cycle. Let's see. Supplements. So the best supplement that I've found is MegTech before bed to increase deep and REM. I'll open this up here. This is actually a client of mine called Natural Stacks, and they have magnesium L-threonate in their formula, which is the only form of magnesium that's been shown to, reduce brain age by 9 years, which is some copy that we wrote here. But in reality, the studies show that this is the only form of magnesium that actually crosses the blood-brain barrier. Most of us don't get enough of it, and it really helps sleep. It helps you relax, kind of wind down, and I've seen my scores go up on my Whoop after taking it. All right, so phone, turn off your phone a couple hours before bed. That'll help you a lot. When you do this, it's just like, why are you checking email? Why are you checking social media before bed? It's just not useful for the next morning and having a clean headspace and a clear mind. So I would just say reduce that as much as possible. If you need to have it on, I'm not going to tell you to do the crazy biohacking stuff like installing the router that makes everything turn off. Like, I think that's a little bit too much. Just put your phone in a different room whenever you can and read a book instead, or hang out with your spouse, or do something fun before bed instead of scrolling on Instagram, right? So if you do those things, you'll have super good sleep. Now, that's not much, right? Just buy a tracker, wear some blue light blockers, get a nice mattress and the Flex app. Both of those are set it and forget it. The only things you have to actually do is just take MegTech or a magnesium supplement, wear the Whoop or buy a Whoop, and then just make sure that you're staying off your phone. It's pretty easy to follow, right? That's the highest leverage thing you can do. Now, next is meditation. Okay, so if you want to stay extremely focused and productive during the day, you have to meditate. Like, it's such a hack. It's such a game changer. I'm not sure why more founders don't do it. I think there's this conception of like, I can't, I don't have time to meditate, or I have too many things going on. But I remember hearing a spiritual teacher that I follow, who's like a meditation coach and stuff like that. He said, if you feel like you're too busy to meditate, or if you feel like you're unable to meditate for 10 minutes, you should meditate for 20 every day. And the point of that is, the whole purpose of meditation is to make you calm down and help you relax and clear your mind, right? And it gives you space to actually be present. Okay, so use an app like Headspace or Calm to do this. I guarantee you it's one of the highest yield things you can do for your focus. Don't view it as time away from work. View it as an investment into your work. Next thing is diet. This is really hard because I'm not going to sit here and give you a specific diet that you have to follow, but I would say there's a couple things that are really useful, and that's sleep, meditation, diet, and exercise, right? Like, those are the four. That's pretty much it. And you want to find a diet that works for you at any given moment. Now, this might change over time. At one point, you might be vegan, and then you think that this is the answer. But the underlying thing is that you want to just avoid processed foods, right? So whether you're vegan or whether I don't necessarily think it's the greatest move, but like whether you're carnivore, keto, whatever, the whole point is like limit the processed foods. All right. Because there's some people that do carnivore and they're eating like hot dogs every day, which is just not useful, right? And then there's people that do a vegan diet, but they're eating extremely processed packaged food and exclusively meat replacements all day. Neither is really great. Okay. So find a middle ground that works for you, whether it's a Mediterranean diet or whether it is one of those more extreme diets, but follow it to the point where you're not consuming the processed stuff. Okay, so just avoid those processed foods as much as you can. All right, now the one thing I'll say is, especially if it works for you and if you're comfortable doing it, is leverage intermittent fasting, because it increases cognitive function in the morning before you eat. It's also great for staying lean and like staying healthy, but more importantly, like when you don't eat in the morning, you can get like 4 or 5 hours of focused work where nobody's distracting you. Everything's just dialed in. All right. So intermittent fasting has been awesome. And then of course, just don't drink too much or use drugs to stay clear, but mainly just during the week, like try to limit the drinking, because that can really make you kind of fall off track, especially if you're a founder. If you can just get those 4 to 5 hours of focused work done in the morning before anyone bothers you, without drinking the night before or drinking very much, right? It's super useful. Okay, so when it comes to exercise, I'll go quickly through the rest of these. You want to be exercising every day that you work. I think that's the best way to do it. It makes you more productive. It reduces oxidative stress, and it keeps you very fresh. So if you're filming things on camera, if you're leading a team, if you're taking sales calls, it's a noticeable difference when you work out. You feel more energized, you feel more focused, right? So lift weights 2 to 3 times per week. The research is very clear that that's great for longevity and it's great for energy. And then fill your other days with light cardio because that's good for your heart. You can also do yoga for relaxation and to keep yourself feeling loose, right? And then just brisk walking on the days that you don't want to work out is super great. Like a 30-minute walk or a 45-minute walk is game changing, especially if it's sunny outside. It boosts your mood a lot, gives you energy, or just go play a sport with friends. Okay, so distractions. Use Calendly to set your meetings in the afternoon and protect your marketing hours. So your marketing hours should be in the morning. If you're a CEO, executive, or founder, and you are focused on growing the company, which is probably why you're watching this video, you need to protect those marketing hours, which are in the morning. It's the most important thing you can do is to bring new customers in or bring new clients into your business. No matter what level of founder that you are, even if you own a $10 million company, you should be either marketing directly or you should be building systems in the morning that help your marketing and sales team bring in more customers. Okay, so that's the most important thing. It's either systems or marketing, and that happens in the morning. Therefore, it's easier to use an app like Calendly to set your meetings. It's hypocrisy to me that there's people that like are emailing back and forth, like, what time works for you? Well, Tuesday I have this, but I'm free when. Like, send a Calendly link. What are you doing? Like, get Calendly, set your hours. Doesn't mean you can't change them and accommodate people, but just use Calendly. Use the Opal app on your iPhone to remove distractions from your phone, or just put your phone away until lunch. So in those morning hours, you cannot be on Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff. Like, focus on what actually matters. Even during breaks, you might think it's no big deal to check your phone. I understand if you have kids and stuff, you're going to want to keep your phone on you, but use the Opal app so that you don't have to put it on Do Not Disturb. You can still have the social media apps and news apps on your phone and email, but you can just use Opal to block them for the morning hours so that you're focused. All right, and then set Slack and email on silent or don't open them until lunch. There is a great book called Indistractable that basically talks about the CEO and the founder of Slack having rules on when they should keep Slack open, right? So even the founder of Slack knows that you're not supposed to have the app open all day because it destroys your focus, right? It's meant for communication. It's not meant for constant monitoring and pretending like you're working. Close the email, close Slack, okay? Keep them closed until lunch. All right, so daily routine. If you're a founder and you're working with us at Zunisty, we help founders grow very, very quickly, leverage the ad platforms, write dynamic sales letters, and make a lot of money. Okay, we increase the cash flow profit. But if you are working with us, or if you're not, I recommend following this daily routine, which is your new daily routine will be waking up, doing some form of meditation, exercise, or if you don't want to exercise, you can do it after work. But either way, meditation or exercise, and then just get right into your most important work, which is marketing. You need to block out like between 3 to 6 hours in the morning before you have meetings to actually do the marketing and the systems building. All right, so you need to market to new customers and clients or build systems that help you do so. Okay, so keep your distractions away for those morning hours while you market yourself. You do it yourself. Get it working yourself before you even hire people or before you teach your teams how to do it. All right. So lastly is the workplace. This is really, really, really underrated. And you're going to want to keep your workplace set for success. All right. So let me drop this down here. Your workplace is very important for your success. You want to create a haven for yourself to do productive work and stay focused for long periods of time. All right. So for your desk, get a solid standing desk because it's better for energy. Get a chair that is an expensive ergonomic chair so you don't ruin your back, especially if you're like over 30 and you're sitting for 8 hours a day. It's like, just spend the $500 on a nice chair, especially if you work from home, or at least make sure that you're getting up and moving around during your breaks. Okay, so cables, search cable management videos on YouTube to keep your desk clean. This is really important. It should take like an hour to do. Doesn't need to be super complicated, but just clean up the cables, make your desk look nice. Don't have a bunch of crap on your desk, right? Just keep it really simple. Keyboard, mouse, screen, monitor, laptop. All right. So desktop, keep your files and your desktop clean. Only use a few folders and apps. That's a great way to just kind of clear the mind, keep it really simple. You can even put your screensaver as your goals. So if you have company goals, you just put the screensaver on your background, and that kind of helps you stay focused on those goals. Monitor, just get the newest Mac monitor or a nice LG monitor. Those are my favorite. And then accessories, invest in a newer Logitech keyboard and the Logitech like MX3 mouse. Those are the best ones for sure. And you're going to be spending a lot of time at your computer. It's your workstation, right? So upgrade it. All right. So I hope that helps. Just to recap, sleep is number one most important thing. After that, I would probably say that meditation is really up there. Along with that is diet and exercise. And then clear distractions, use those two apps to do so, Calendly and Opal. Daily routine, you're going to be marketing and blocking off those morning hours to market and build systems. And then your workplace, just keep it clean, keep everything organized, and stay focused. This is how you optimize yourself for productivity as a founder, an operator, an owner. And I hope that helps. Have a good one.